How's it going, everyone? This is DoctorJefe, and welcome to the third and final video in our Crusader Kings 3 Al-Andalus achievement run. So, since last time, you can see that we've taken almost all the lands required to complete the Avenge the Battle of Tours decision. Now, just to remind you, to get the Avenge the Battle of Tours decision, you need to completely control the region of Iberia, which we have all the lands except for these Hudid lands, as well as southern Francia, or what is the Kingdom of Aquitaine, which we control all of, except again for these Hudid lands. Now, the English territory that used to be part of Iberia, we took in a fashion where we beat them. They declared a holy war against the Hudids. We were able to join in as a defender, which you can do when there's a defensive holy war ongoing. After England was defeated in that war, which I think was a lot easier since they had to send their men over here, rather than if we had to attack them and go try and invade England ourselves, the lands that they controlled here became independent. Perhaps there was a request for independence that England just gave them. And once those lands became independent, they were all single province counts, which we were easily able to snap up. Similar thing for Aquitaine. As you saw in the last video, it was all broken up into several pieces. We did a variety of holy wars and conquests to grab that land. There was one county, Uzes, which was controlled by the Holy Roman Empire. We took that land in the way that I said that I thought we would. After this emperor died, this guy came to be in charge. He's much weaker than the current emperor. The current emperor has 16,000 troops. This guy had about 8,000. So you can see he was, kicked out by another faction group anyway. So he was definitely a weaker emperor. We made use of that weakness to grab this territory. The last part of Iberia was these two counties that were controlled by the Almoravids. At some point, the ruler of the Almoravids died. This kingdom split in two, and this leader of the Abbassids had a claim on a whole bunch of territory over here. So we pushed his claim, grabbed these two counties as well as a bunch of other territory, which isn't required for the achievement, but it has given us a huge boost to our military power. Now, I was about to fight the Hudid Emirate. You can do a subjugation war against them where we will make them our vassals, so all of their territory will become ours. However, this great holy war, or a crusade, was called against Syria. Now, for some reason, I was made the war leader. This may be because I'm the Muslim leader that has the highest military strength, but really, I could care less about what's going on in the Middle East. I'm over here in Spain. There's no Muwaladis over here. In fact, Ismaili is a Shia faith, and we're of Sunni faith, so we actually view them as hostile. Like, I really could care less if the Catholics take this land. It's no skin off my back. I thought that you were forced to stay in this war, because normally, as a Catholic, you can't surrender. The Pope's the war leader. However, I am the war leader for the Muslim side, so I'm just going to surrender this war, just to make sure that no weird things happen once I declare my subjugation war against the Hudids. So, we'll just surrender. Alright, yes, Allah, why do you punish us? And in fact, it's actually kind of good for Muwalladism, because we increased our fervor by surrendering. Now, I'll be able to declare my subjugation war against this guy. He has two allies, but his allies are actually, one of them is his vassal. We can look in here. One of them is his vassal here in Laborde, and the other one is my vassal. So those two vassals won't be allowed to be called into this war. You can declare the war, and a great thing about declaring wars this way, I can show you on this guy, is that I've taken the Bellum Justum, which has a 50% decrease to war cost, declaring war costs. You can look here in... Yeah, causes belli cost minus 50%. I'd forgotten about this in the last video, but this is a really strong perk for anyone who wants to expand quickly. It really decreases the amount of prestige and piety that's required for your wars. Now, I have a ton of prestige and piety from, I don't know, probably just being in a lot of battles, joining in defensive holy wars, probably in this current holy war that I was part of, just attacking the HRE and winning battles there. So now we have tons of troops, like way more troops than our enemies are going to have. And another thing that we have is 80 plus 80, 160 mangonels. So these sieges should not take long at all. Alright, we'll just condemn these guys. We don't really care. We're just trying to get to that point where we can click the button to take the Avenge the Battle of Tours decision. So we're just going to move in, and while we are sieging this guy down, while we are sieging this guy down, I'll just go over a few other interesting things that I found. My goodness. It's like you're sitting there waiting for events to happen, but then as soon as you start recording a video, like 3 events happen, and it just breaks up your whole rhythm. Okay, so one thing that I noticed is that the titles of the duchies change whenever a new house is created. So you can see that the Hudid Emirate was here. It used to be called the Emirate of Castile. So I noticed this happened with the Emirate of Toledo when this guy, who's part of our dynasty... Oh, we already finished sieging this land. Let's just move around. These sieges will be so quick that this war will be over before we even know it. Once he created his own house, the duchy title changed from Emirate of Toledo to the Avenge Emirate. I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. What is interesting, though, is that they are still de jure part of Andalusia and Hispania, and same thing here, part of Kingdom of Castile and the Aftasid Empire, which is Empire of Hispania. For some reason, the Hudid Emirate was not de jure part of anything, so that may just be that this guy starts off with this Hudid Emirate title. I still haven't checked, that's my bad. But who knows, we may figure that out and put it in the comments at some point. So we've taken more lands, we're already at 43% war score. Another interesting thing is, you can see I have tons of children, 11 children, a lot of male heirs. However, when we go over to our succession, we see that none of our lands are being lost, even with high partition. And that's because you can do this by giving your sons duchy titles. If they each have a duchy title and you don't control 2 or more duchy titles, let's just grab a perk while we're at it. We only control 1 duchy title. We have this, but this is the Head of Faith title, which is passed on separately from your other titles. Okay, I'll be friends. I'm a friendly guy. So we'll move through here on our way to sieging another land. Oh, what was I saying? Yes, so if you have 1 duchy title, you can hand out duchy titles to your other kids, and they won't take other lands in the partition. This allows us to keep control of these places that I've built up a lot. You can see I have tons of money. So I've taken the time to build up these holdings, make sure that we're getting a lot of taxes, a lot of levies from just these single holdings. I'd say that's a really good strategy to do, even in basically anywhere. Like, you have tons of kids as a Muslim ruler because you have multiple spouses. You don't have to get multiple spouses, but you would take a piety hit if you didn't. So yeah, that's a great way to deal with the fact that you have more kids as a Muslim ruler. If you're expanding a lot, you can hand out these duchies. In fact, you can revoke titles. If you're worried about needing to give a kid a duchy, you can see under titles can be created. There's a lot more duchies I could create in order to give to these kids. I'm holding on to these counties, which I'm not, not even increasing control or building any new buildings in here. If I had another kid I needed to give land to, I could create a duchy and give them this land. I have lands here where I could create a duchy. It's always good to hold on to 1 territory that's a de jure part of the duchy that you want to hand out. It saves trouble in the future of dealing with vassals saying like, oh, I want this duchy, or be like, oh, this isn't like my de jure duchy, minus 25 opinion. It's kind of annoying. You want to make sure everyone is in the proper duchy. And yeah, I believe that was all the things I wanted to say. So let's just get to that Avenge the Battle of Tours decision. So we'll enforce demands. He's going to become our vassal. Nice. The Avenge the Battle of Tours decision just pops right up here at the top. Okay, here we go. In 732, the Umayyad forces were defeated by the Franks on the road to Tours. Had things gone differently, all of Europe would be under Muslim rule today. I will avenge our fallen martyrs and make their dream a reality. Let's click the button. We're going to gain some prestige, gain some piety. I mean, we're super high here anyway. And it's not even enough to get us to the living legend. But yeah, we're going to get an increase in our fervor, so we should go all the way up to 100. There's going to be a chance for all of these people in Western Europe to convert to Muwalladism. I think we have a couple Catholic rulers around here. Maybe this guy. Yeah, there's some guys over here who are still Catholic. We'll see if they convert. Almost everybody, though, is Muwalladi. They've converted a lot of the lands already. So yeah, we're ready. We're ready to click the button and just get that achievement. Thousands and thousands of brave Muslims died on the road to Tours, the path of the martyrs. They were fighting for a better future, a new golden age for the true believers. Today that future is finally here. With a firm foothold in Europe, my glorious conquest has only just begun. Allahu Akbar. And we gained the nickname the Avenger, also Avenger of Martyrs trait. Alright. Same faith opinion, plus 10, so all of our Muwalladi vassals are going to like us more. This is great. Excellent work, Muhammad the Avenger. And now if we... Yep, we get the little achievement unlocked, Al-Andalus. Alright, well I hope you all enjoyed this achievement run. From here, you can see that, you know, we could continue to expand northward, either up through the rest of Western Europe into the English Isles, or down through Africa, take these lands for ourselves. We could even butt heads with the Holy Roman Empire, maybe eventually do a jihad against them for a lot of territory, try and break them up. But yeah, I really enjoyed my time playing as a clan ruler. I think the war decisions you can take, if I can disband my armies first, the war decisions you can take, we can do holy wars as well as conquest casus belli, are super strong. It allows you to use both prestige and piety for expansion, and unlike feudal rulers, you don't have to wait around fabricating claims. Although at a certain point, once you've expanded far enough outside of, you know, the Catholic area, pretty much you can always be using holy wars to expand. However, that does require you to, you know, continuously have a good source of piety. So the ability to use both prestige and piety, it's really great. So yeah, that's going to be where this, you know, achievement run is going to end. Yeah, let me know if there is anything that you guys wanted to know more about, you know, tips or tricks on getting this achievement, and let me know any of your stories of how you got this achievement yourself. Alright, until next time, do remember, as always, to take care of yourself.